Claire Headley was a dedicated Scientologist. From a young age, she was drawn to the Church of Scientology, captivated by its promises of spiritual enlightenment and personal growth. The teachings resonated with her, offering a sense of purpose and belonging that she had been searching for. She joined the church at a young age, eager to immerse herself in its community and teachings. The initial stages of her journey were filled with hope and enthusiasm. She attended courses, participated in auditing sessions, and quickly became a familiar face within the local Scientology center. Claire's dedication did not go unnoticed. She rose quickly through the ranks, her commitment and hard work earning her recognition and respect. She was seen as a model Scientologist, someone who embodied the principles and values of the church. Her commitment led her to the Sea Org, an elite group within Scientology known for its rigorous demands and unwavering loyalty. Joining the Sea Org was a significant step, one that required a lifetime commitment and a willingness to sacrifice personal freedoms for the greater good of the church. This is Scientology's inner circle, a group of individuals who dedicate their lives to the church's mission. The Sea Org members are the backbone of Scientology, working tirelessly to support its operations and expand its influence. Members dedicate their lives to the church. They work long hours, often under intense pressure and with little rest. They follow strict rules, adhering to a code of conduct that governs every aspect of their lives. The demands are high, but for many, the sense of purpose and community makes it worthwhile. Claire believed in Scientology's teachings. She trusted the organization and its leaders, convinced that she was part of something greater than herself. The doctrines and practices of Scientology provided her with a framework for understanding the world and her place in it. She had no idea of the dark secrets that awaited her. As she delved deeper into the inner workings of the church, she began to uncover practices and policies that contradicted the ideals she had been taught. The reality of life within the Sea Org was far more complex and troubling than she had ever imagined. Claire's faith would be tested. The more she learned, the more she struggled to reconcile her beliefs with the actions of the church. She found herself at a crossroads, torn between her loyalty to Scientology and her growing doubts about its practices. She would face unimaginable challenges: the pressure to conform, the fear of retribution, and the emotional toll of her experiences weighed heavily on her. Claire's journey was not just a physical one, but a profound emotional and spiritual struggle. She would be forced to make heartbreaking choices. The decision to stay or leave, to speak out or remain silent were not taken lightly. Each choice came with significant consequences, both for herself and for those she cared about. Her story is a testament to the power of manipulation. The control exerted by the church over its members is profound, affecting every aspect of their lives. Claire's experiences highlight the lengths to which the organization will go to maintain its influence and authority. It exposes the devastating consequences of Scientology's policies. This is her story, a journey of faith, disillusionment, and ultimately, resilience. Claire Headley's journey into Scientology's inner circle is a powerful reminder of the human capacity for hope, endurance, and the search for truth. The Declare checklist is a chilling example of Scientology's control tactics. This document is not just a simple list, it is a powerful tool designed to instill fear and maintain control over its members. The checklist is meticulously crafted to cover a wide range of behaviors and actions that the church deems unacceptable. By doing so, it ensures that members are constantly aware of the boundaries they must not cross, lest they face severe consequences. It is used to silence dissent. Any form of disagreement or questioning of the church's teachings can lead to a member being scrutinized and potentially punished. This creates an environment where members are afraid to voice their true thoughts and feelings, knowing that doing so could result in severe repercussions. It isolates members who question the church. Those who dare to speak out or express doubts are often ostracized and shunned by their peers. This isolation serves as a powerful deterrent, discouraging others from following in their footsteps. The fear of being cut off from the community they have known and relied upon is enough to keep most members in line. The checklist is a list of offenses. These offenses range from minor infractions to more serious violations, all of which are meticulously documented. The church uses this list to monitor and control the behavior of its members, ensuring that they adhere to its strict guidelines and regulations. These offenses can lead to a member being declared a suppressive person, SP. This label is one of the most severe punishments the church can impose. Being declared an SP means that the individual is considered an enemy of the church, and they are treated as such by other members. This is Scientology's term for an enemy. Once someone is labeled an SP, they are subjected to intense scrutiny and hostility. Other members are instructed to cut all ties with the SP, further isolating them and reinforcing the church's control over its followers. Being declared an SP has severe consequences. The individual is not only cut off from their community but also from their family and friends who are still in the church. This can lead to profound emotional and psychological distress, as the person is left to navigate their new reality alone. It means being cut off from family and friends still in the church. The church's policy of disconnection forces members to sever ties with anyone declared an SP, regardless of their previous relationship. This can result in the destruction of families and friendships, leaving the SP isolated and vulnerable. It can result in the destruction of relationships. The fear of being declared an SP and the subsequent disconnection policy creates a culture of fear and mistrust within the church. Members are constantly on edge, worried that any misstep could lead to their own declaration and the loss of their loved ones. It can lead to financial ruin. Many members of the church are financially dependent on their community, and being declared an SP can result in the loss of their livelihood. The financial strain combined with the emotional and social isolation can be devastating. The fear of being declared an SP creates a culture of silence. Members are too afraid to speak out or question the church's teachings, knowing that doing so could lead to severe consequences. This culture of silence ensures that the church's control remains unchallenged. Members are too afraid to speak out. They fear the repercussions. The constant threat of being declared an SP and the severe consequences that follow keep members in a state of fear and compliance. This tool of fear and control ensures that the church maintains its power and influence over its followers. One of Scientology's most controversial policies is its stance on children. The Church of Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard, has always been shrouded in mystery and controversy. Among its many contentious practices, the policy regarding children, especially within its elite Sea organization, stands out as particularly disturbing. The Sea Org, often described as the clergy of Scientology, has a strict no-child policy. This policy is not just a guideline but a rigid rule that members are expected to follow without question. The Sea Org members dedicate their entire lives to the church, signing billion-year contracts, symbolizing their eternal commitment. Pregnant members are pressured to have abortions. The pressure is immense and unrelenting. Women who find themselves pregnant are often subjected to intense counseling sessions where they are told that having a child would be a betrayal of their commitment to the church. They are told that children interfere with their dedication to the church. The argument is that raising a child would take time and energy away from their spiritual duties and the mission of Scientology. This creates a hostile environment for those who wish to start a family. They are made to feel guilty for wanting a family. The emotional manipulation is profound. Women are made to feel that their natural desire to have children is selfish, and that they are letting down their fellow Sea Org members and the church itself. Claire Headley experienced this firsthand. Claire, a former high-ranking member of the Sea Org, has spoken out about the traumatic experiences she endured during her time in the organization. She was forced to undergo 2 abortions while in the Sea Org. Claire's story is a harrowing account of how the church's policies can devastate personal lives. She describes the immense pressure and the lack of support she received during these difficult times. She was denied the right to choose motherhood. The decision was not hers to make. The church's doctrine and the leaders' insistence overrode her personal wishes and bodily autonomy. She was made to feel like her body was not her own. The psychological impact of such coercion is profound. Claire, like many others, was left feeling alienated from her own body and choices. This policy is a violation of basic human rights. The right to choose whether or not to have children is a fundamental human right. The church's policy not only infringes on this right but also subjects its members to severe emotional and psychological trauma. It is a chilling example of Scientology's disregard for its members. The church's rigid policies and the extreme measures it takes to enforce them highlight a disturbing lack of empathy and respect for individual autonomy. This is just one of many practices that have led to widespread criticism and calls for reform within the organization. Section 4. Leaving Scientology. A harrowing escape from mental coercion. Leaving Scientology is not easy. It takes immense courage and strength. Members are subjected to intense pressure to stay. They are threatened with disconnection from loved ones. They are subjected to smear campaigns. They are made to feel like they have nowhere else to turn. Claire Headley's escape from Scientology was harrowing. She had to leave behind everything she knew. She had to rebuild her life from scratch. She faced intense emotional distress. She feared for her safety, but she refused to be silenced. Section 5. Speaking Out. Claire Headley's fight for justice. After leaving Scientology, Claire Headley made the brave decision to speak out. She wanted to expose the truth about the organization. She wanted to help others who had been hurt. She became a vocal critic of Scientology's practices. Claire has shared her story in interviews, documentaries, and legal proceedings. She has faced criticism and attacks from Scientology and its supporters, but she has refused to be intimidated. She has become a beacon of hope for those who have left Scientology. She has shown that it is possible to break free from the organization's control. Section 6. The Danny Masterson Trial, Scientology's Practices Exposed. The trial of actor Danny Masterson, a prominent Scientologist, brought renewed scrutiny to the church's practices. Several women accused Masterson of rape. They testified that Scientology officials discouraged them from reporting the assaults to the police. Claire Headley's testimony in the Masterson trial was particularly powerful. She provided insights into Scientology's internal justice system. She explained how the church's policies protect abusers. Her testimony helped to shed light on the dark side of Scientology. Section 7. Psychological Impact. The Scars of Scientology's Abuse. The psychological impact of Scientology's policies can be devastating. Former members often suffer from anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. They struggle to rebuild their lives. They live with the fear of retaliation. Scientology's practices of manipulation, control, and disconnection can have long-lasting effects on mental health. Many former members require years of therapy to heal. They need support to overcome the trauma they endured.